Good morning, team. It's Richie here from the Kiwi Hustle podcast. I'm here with a very special guest, an entrepreneur within the fitness industry, ex-gym owner, and now he owns and operates one of the biggest pre-made meals companies in New Zealand, and that's my friend Taran. How's it going, my brother?
Good, man. How you doing? Thank you for having me.
Good, man. So, bro, how's it been? Tell us about yourself, brother.
My name is Taz. I am the founder of Swole Foods. Like Richie said, we currently do ready-made healthy meals, and we deliver them to people's homes nationwide. We also have, an offline channel, so we have gyms as partners like you guys, which just makes meals accessible to members, to people who want a healthier solution after a workout, not necessarily have to go home and do the cooking. We make it accessible to them right where they are when they need the product. And that's the little intro about the business.
Bro, you've your story is amazing. Like, not many people know your background, but let's start from the beginning, bro. So where were you born, and your journey from where you were to where you are now, bro? A little bit about that.
Yeah, man, it's been a journey for sure, and a story that I haven't shared too much, especially in the start of the business as well. But as of late, I've kind of been invited to a few talks and things like that. So, look, I'm from India. I was born in India, and I was living there till I was 21 years old. I moved to New Zealand when I was 21. But growing up as a child, I was always into sports.
What sport?
So, you're India, you're playing cricket. You're pretty much, as you grow up, you're playing cricket in the streets. And
who's your idol? Sachin Tendulkar?
To be honest, they've all the team as a whole. Tendulkar, obviously, he changed the game, and he changed the game. He changed how the sport was viewed. How India, he was like
he was a celebrity, bro. He was like God.
He is, bro. There's, in India, that's the thing about Indians, right? There's, it's such a huge country. And sports heroes are like idol worshipped. So these guys are put on a pedestal, and I don't even. They're just like heroes, man. But that comes with, it comes with the negative as well, right? Because when they don't do well, then they kind of go and throw rocks at their houses and stuff like that. So it's like the wild place to be.
What's it like living in India, bro? If you don't mind just talking about that, like, not many people understand the lifestyle. Like, is it very rigid? What's the quality of life? And what do you do as a family, bro? Is it just work and come back from family and go to the temple? What's that like, bro?
Yeah, look, I would say India is living in India is an experience. It's like you cannot, especially if you're from a place like New Zealand, it is so far fetched from what someone here grows up to experience.
Tell us about it, bro. Like give me an example.
To give you an idea, like I grew up in Bombay, and when I was in college, right, when I was like junior college, I used to have to take a train to go from where my suburb was to college, and
is that high school? Is that high school?
That's after 11th standard.
So university, no.
Like junior college.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So so I'm just trying to put into perspective the amount of people, right? So and first thing in the morning at about 7 a.m. on that train station where I had to go, there would be about between 2 and 3 million people there.
What?
On one train station. Taking the train, and
so those videos that you see online in India where they're crammed.
Yeah, it's all real, man.
It's real.
So when
bro, if you don't mind me asking, do people get killed on these trains? Like hanging off the sides and...
I mean, it could I don't know, man. Like, I think stampedes and things like that, but I'll give you a funny story. So when I was, I was one of those kids who, I was quite kind of short and till about 14, 15. And then I had a 1 year where I grew like 4 or 5 inches. So when I used to go to these trains, sometimes when you're trying to jump on the platform, there were so many people, like sardines. And I used to just jump, and the crowd would take me in. That's how funny it used to be. Like there was just a momentum, and you're literally like like you're on other people's bodies, basically.
How do you avoid someone pickpocketing you, like taking money out of your pockets?
Bro, I didn't have money, man.
But
just generally speaking, it was you people, you just hold it close and things like that. But yeah, it's chaos, but there's a flow there. Man.
It's a controlled,
beautiful. It's beautiful. Like you, being in India, you have to surrender. That's what I would say.
Surrender,
so like if you're driving right on the street, there's so much going on, so much activity.
Yeah.
Cars going from all directions, people honking,
Yeah.
people on bicycles, people on auto rickshaws. That if you come from a perspective that people aren't following the law, people aren't following a certain
You're
lane,
going to suffer.
You're going to go nuts.
Yeah.
So you have to surrender.
You know what's funny, bro? So I haven't been to India, but I've been to Bali, and it's probably similar to
Very
it.
similar.
Very dense, a lot of people, but it works.
Yeah.
And it's so true what you said, bro, because, it's in New Zealand, I don't mind Tobago, but there always seems to be like, my rights. But
Yeah.
when you're in a country of that capacity, it's about what's better for the society. So you've got to give way. You've just got to go with the flow. And like what you said, just got to surrender, right? Is that right?
To be honest, over there, it's actually, in some ways, actually the reverse. Because you surrender because everyone is only looking out for themselves.
Oh,
So
I see,
everyone's
yeah.
like, I just need to get my way done.
Yep.
So if someone's like literally, if there's a car, they see a gap, they're going
They're gonna go.
They're gonna go. There is no. I mean, back then at least on the suburbs and things like that, there are no lanes. You just go, man. If you want to get this, you want to get somewhere, you just get
On the
there.
footpath.
Whatever you want to do, it's now, and also to be honest, like I haven't lived there now for 22 years.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
a lot has changed now, and I don't visit there that frequently, but I have friends there and stuff. So, but overall, I would say I encourage everyone to at least visit India once.
I want to.
Bro, it'll change your perspective
Yeah.
of life. It will.
Do you reckon it'll humble us or make us appreciate what we've got in New Zealand?
100%. It will give you such a sense of appreciation for the day-to-day things that we take for granted living here.
Yeah.
It will just put into perspective. And I've actually had so many people kind of affirm that once they've gone to India or they've visited a very country which is so far away from what they're aware of.
Yeah.
It changes perspective. You become more open. You become
Yeah.
more accepting of things. A lot of inhibitions drop away, and you just adapt. You become a lot more adaptive.
How many languages are spoken in India?
I have no idea.
There's a lot, hey?
I think there's every 500 kilometers or so, something like that. There's the dialect changes, and there's hundreds of languages, man. Even in one language, like even for example in say I'm Punjabi, so even in Punjabi there's different places speak
That have
differently. Different dialects, different words for certain things. So it's an unbelievable
Country.
I can't even describe it in words.
There's talk that India is going to take over to be one of the biggest powerhouses with their economy, coming up real soon. There's talk about it,
Yeah, I mean, look, some of the smartest people in the world are out of India.
Yeah.
You see, even if you look at the biggest companies in the world, Google, all of these guys, it's all led by a lot of Indians.
Well, I think the CEO of Google was Indian, wasn't he?
He still is, I think.
Yeah.
So, all the tech guys, the biggest, the doctors in America and all of that, there's a huge movement in India where, because education and all of that is given a lot of importance.
Yeah.
And so, people are just intelligent, and then they take that overseas. But there's been a big movement over the last, I think, 7, 8, 10 years that all of that has started to come back.
India.
Yeah, because India has opened up a lot of growth opportunities. I mean, right now, the amount of entrepreneurship and startups in India is unfathomable.
Yeah.
The amount of money being raised for startups, young entrepreneurs doing things, because it's all like this huge wave of opportunity that's all manifesting at the same time right now.
See what I love about Indians, because I've got a lot of Indian friends. Man, you guys work hard.
Yeah.
Very hard workers, man.
To be honest, bro, it stems from nothing being given to you.
Yeah.
There is no backup, right?
There's no welfare in India.
No welfare at all. I mean, absolutely none. There's no plan B.
Nah.
Over here, if you get injured, you get support. If you're out of a job, you get support, which is fantastic. So there's always that sense of if something happens to me, they will look after me, or the government has my back. There's no opportunity there.
But the thing is, what I love about that mentality, though, is it makes you work. Like
100%.
you've just got to grow your wings. You've got to learn to swim, otherwise it's sinking time.
Yeah.
Eh?
It is 100%, and that mentality of, you know, if I don't do it for me, no one
else
it.
will.
Yeah.
That's the hard thing, Taz, is, you know, in New Zealand, exactly what you said, bro. There's always backup plans, and so there's always that complacent culture, like, oh, I don't have to work, I don't have to put, but you got to work, man. Like
Yeah.
the recipe for success is simple. Like, I know a lot of people give Indians, Chinese hard time, but like, look what they do.
Yeah.
They just work. It's simple.
Yeah.
Like, it's not 9 to 5, it's 5 to 9, bro. Like, get your ass up and go to work. It's simple.
100%. Yeah, that's another huge culture shock that a lot of people go through when they come from countries like India, China.
They
and all
work.
that, is that there is no 9 to 5 concept.
Nah.
Work finishes when work finishes.
Yeah.
And you learn that very quickly as an entrepreneur, that you cannot. There is no 9 to 5.
Yeah.
You know, it's 24/7,
Constantly.
non-stop, right? And so I think being trained in that mentality, or just not having that concept of, oh, I'm overworking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you know, it's even things like struggle and all of that. These are non concepts.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing. You're not struggling.
No.
You're just working.
You know what's funny, bro? And I don't mean to bag anyone or say, I say this respectively, but 50 Cent, he said he calls depression a luxury because he's from, you've got responsibilities. You got
no time.
You got no time to be depressed.
Yeah,
like that's
yeah.
not like, again, I say this with complete respect.
Yeah.
And like obviously in India, you've got to get up and work. You've got to get up and make food. You've got to get up and do these things. You know.
Yeah, man. Yeah, 100%.
So, brother, so you come to New Zealand with your beautiful family.
Yeah.
I think you said in 2012? No.
2001.
2001, yeah.
So we moved here, and so I already started my. I guess we went on a tangent about the country, but so I was, you know, like I said, I was always into sports, and as a teenager, I used to play squash.
Nice.
So I got into the sport, and I used to actually play at a national level. I even represented India in the UK at the British Open. So I was playing at a decent level, playing tournaments and things like that. And that really kind of inculcated discipline, hard work, your training for hours on end in a hot Indian summer, like sometimes it's 40, 45 degrees.
Wow.
And then you're in the squash court, which is even hotter.
Even hotter. No aircon there, bro.
No aircons back then. And so I think looking back now, I can tell you that those days where when you're with any sport, right, you got to put the work in,
Yeah.
and then you potentially have an opportunity to for that work to come to manifest in a tournament or in a match, right?
Yeah.
And so I think, obviously, unbeknown to me at that time, that discipline of waking up early in the morning, going to training, sacrificing sleep, eating the right things, all of that has, now looking back at life, I can tell you that
it's created good habits.
Such a huge part in my life. And as a part of squash training, when I was like 14, 15 years old, like I said, I was a little bit shorter as a child. So I started going to the gym. I started doing hanging and pull-ups. I wanted to grow a bit taller.
So how old were you when you were doing this?
I didn't start lifting weights as such till I was about 17.
Yep.
But I started going to the gym to exercise since I was 14.
Just to try to grow your body physically.
Just stretch, squash training, like just a little. There wasn't any technique. There wasn't any workouts. But I just, because the squash center where I used to play had a gym.
Gotcha.
So you just go there to warm up, and then all the cool people were hanging out in the gym. So it was good to be there as well.
Yeah.
And then when I was about 17 and a half, I went into the gym and I said I actually want to start. Told the trainer there I want to start actually understanding, lifting. And so the first time he designed a workout for me and he gave me a program. It was love at first workout,
Yeah.
I just fell in love with the whole concept that I am totally in control. I show up, I put the work in, I get the result.
And I get the result back. Yeah.
There's no one else that can control that.
Yeah.
It's only me who has to show up.
Yeah.
And so I just got addicted to training. Like 2 times a day was a given for me. Early in the morning, sometimes at 5 a.m. I used to be there, and then again at late at night.
And this is 17.
17.
And you were going to school?
I was in college. So
Yeah.
in India, you go to school for 10 years and then there's junior college. And so I was like an anomaly. I was eating chicken and like really, I was getting all the knowledge from magazines back then, looking at
Flex
muscle and
magazines.
fitness. Yeah, Flex,
Yeah,
muscle and fitness.
Yeah.
And learning and absorbing all this knowledge, right? And whereas all my friends, they were, that was when they were discovering partying and drinking and girls and all that. And I was like, training at 4 a.m, and they used to think I'm crazy. And I used to think they're crazy.
Yeah.
They would be coming home from the nightclub and I'd be like running on the streets and stuff. And then what really changed for me was, bro, I ended up, I saw the movie Rocky, man.
Oh, yes.
I know I'm a bit older to you, but when I saw that movie, I was like,
Do you like the theme song? The theme song?
I just saw the whole concept of that movie where this guy, Sylvester Stallone's physique, his work ethic, that training montage that they do.
Yeah.
I was just imitating that.
The underdog story.
That's right. You know that you get that one chance and you fight for it and you give it everything.
Yeah.
And so I got addicted to gym training and my physique. I was putting so much work in that I just transformed. Like went from a skinny lean squash player to I wasn't like I've never been a bodybuilder as such, but I've always had a decent physique.
Good muscle.
Yeah. So, but at that age, I used to just stand out because of who my friends were.
Yeah.
They were all very. They weren't into sports. They weren't training and stuff. So that's how my journey with gym training actually began. It was just it's transitioned from training for sport. Then I fell in love with training.
With the physical
and then
side.
I just said, how can I keep doing this?
That's mean, bro.
Yeah.
And so you transitioned that to when you guys arrived in New Zealand?
Yeah, I continued training.
And how old were you when you landed in New Zealand, bro?
I was about 20, 21 years old.
Yep.
I'd already, as I started training, then after a year or two, I wanted to make that a career. So I got certified as a personal trainer.
In New Zealand?
In India. I started personal training people in India because I just decided if I can make a living with something that I love doing, then there's nothing better than that, And so we moved to New Zealand. My family, came here, all of us together.
Where to, Auckland?
To Auckland, yeah. We just came to Auckland. And a week or 2 weeks in being here, I went to do a trial workout at Club Physical in New Lynn.
Oh, yes. Yep.
Way back in the day.
Those
gyms were massive. And they were happening a massive they were conducting a recruitment day. They used to have like massive recruitment days back in those times. Where
So they'd bring trainers through.
They'd trainers, reception staff, kids, crash everyone. So I walked in and I said I want to do a trial workout, and I just asked the manager what's going on here, and he said, "Oh, we're recruiting staff for our gyms and stuff." And I said, "Well, I'm a trainer, I'm a qualified trainer." And he said, "Oh, do you want to go in for an interview?" I said, "Yeah." So I went there for the trial workout. Ended up walking out with a job.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
Club Physical's no longer around. Well, I think there's only one or two clubs.
That's right. Their flagship one in Tiataru is they're still there, which is a massive big one.
Yep.
It's
because they were big, man.
They were the biggest. They had about 13 or I don't know how many around Auckland. And they were huge till the small like Jets and all started coming up and started picking on their business. But those guys were great people, Paul and Tina, the owners.
Were they South African? No.
I think they were local, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so that was my start of my career in New Zealand as a trainer. And then going back to what you were saying, when I went in there, they already had 5 or 7 trainers.
Yeah.
And all of them were on a base salary. And they used to get a commission for every training session that they did. So they used to get paid just to show up. And I didn't understand that concept.
Yeah.
So within 2 or 3 months, when I went in there, like, because I came from India where I was like hustling to get business, and I just started offering people free sessions, like, hey, can I upgrade your program and things like that. And then, the whole mentality was like, once you give me that 45 minutes with me, I'm
built
going to
your
kick
trust.
your ass. But also I'm going to, give you the best workout.
Experience. Yeah.
And then, like really show you my worth, right? My value that, hey, you can have your own workouts, but when I'm with you,
You're going to have the best.
exactly,
Yeah.
and then I started booking sessions in and I started getting busier and busier. And slowly, those guys recognized what I was doing. And within a few months, I was actually
The busiest.
yeah, I was the busiest. They made me like the company personal training manager on how, I used to go out and with other gyms
To the different sites.
yeah, different sites and actually help the trainers on, how when you meet someone for the first time, how do you do a needs analysis? Like how do you set up, the business side of it? You know,
Yeah.
how do you sell the service? And so I did that for a few years. And, then in 2006, 2007, I just decided, okay, this is not going anywhere. I need to kind of
You're kept kind of thing.
Yeah,
You're,
yeah.
You're looking for a new challenge.
new challenge. So there was always my mom. She always wanted me to be quite like I was never the brightest kid in school. I was always into sports and stuff. So over here in 2007, I had the opportunity. I got a master's degree, so I enrolled myself in AUT to do an MBA.
Yeah.
In
business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did a double MBA actually. I did one in international business and in sports management. So those 2007 to 2009, I went back to study full time, and I stopped working, and I was actually full time into studying, getting this master's.
Was that hard,
degree.
bro? Was that hard going from earning a good salary?
Yeah, it
to
was.
then going back to school and then being told what to do.
Yeah, well, the MBA, it's a little bit different because it's very practical, right?
Gotcha.
It's not so much like it's on you. If you finish the course, if you do your your assignments and things like that, you're gonna progress, right?
Yeah.
But what it did for me was it it kind of just built the foundation of understanding business, because you do get a lot of valuable information on how organizations are structured and marketing and all of that kind of stuff, supply chain management and all. And to be honest, bro, like all of that was, now when I look back, it was all training in some way or the other for what I'm doing now.
Yes. Yeah.
And so I got a degree. I got my MBA done 2009. I graduated.
Yep.
And then I have a very close friend in Sydney, so I decided to go for 2 weeks for a holiday
In Sydney.
to Sydney.
Yep.
And I went there, and this is the second time in my life I went to do a workout in Virgin Active in Sydney.
They're a big gym franchise. That's
big.
Richard Branson, eh?
That's right.
Yeah.
Man. Crazy. That's it's like a mini city.
I've heard.
Bro, they're so big. And I went in there to the French's Forest Gym on the North Shore in Sydney. And again, I just went in for
Just a trial.
walk around, bro.
Yeah.
Not even trial. I just wanted to go and see this facility that I saw on Google and stuff like that. So
They're like a complete health club, eh? I heard.
Health club.
They're like everything there.
swimming, they have rock climbing wall inside the gym, like a rock climbing wall.
Wow.
And they have within the gym, they have gyms. Like they'll have a big gym, then they'll have like
Another little gym inside of it.
just their class. They had like 4 or 6 class studios, man. And each of those class studios is like 500-600 square meters.
Gosh.
They have like 10,000-15,000 members. It's madness how big they are. They are like their car park. So that gym there was the old Apple facility, like hundreds of.
And they've decked it out with gym
equipment, like and top of the line stuff, like top of the. I mean, bro, they had 8 sales reps, membership consultants, 8
going at one time.
8 consultants going at one time. So anyway, I went there just to walk around, and one of the guys, the sales consultants, he showed me around the gym, and we got talking. And as I was asking him equipment questions and things like that, he kind of figured out that I'm not just someone walking in through the door. I have some knowledge about gym.
Yeah.
And so he's like, man, you sound really passionate about fitness and stuff like that. You should work with us. I said, okay, how do you go about that? And he called out the sales manager, and the sales manager came out, started talking to me a little bit, and he's like, man, maybe you can come and interview tomorrow. My national sales manager is in town, and see how it goes. And I was just open, right? I had no expectation of anything.
You're just there on holiday.
I'm on a holiday with one backpack. So I told my friend, I said, man, I'm going for this interview. And he's like, being Indian and stuff, he's like, man, you should wear a suit. I said, bro, I'm going to a gym interview.
Yeah, it doesn't make
sense. He's like, no, you should still wear a suit because it's, it's the first impression and stuff. So I didn't have too much money. And so we went to, in Pitt Street, there's a place called Lowe's or something.
You got some clothes.
Bro, $80, man, for a suit. The cheapest suit I could buy, I bought it. Went there the next day, and I was interviewing with the national sales manager, and their interview is not really a sit down, tell me your 5-year plans and all that kind of stuff. It's very practical.
So like, they got you to do exercises or sales pitching?
Sales. So the guy takes you around. So they have what is called a sales journey. So the national manager took me around, and he just said, I'm going to show you what our sales journey is.
So they do like gym walkthrough,
and in that it's very psychological.
Yeah,
because they're taking you through a certain ride where they're doing trial closes, and they're kind of getting you to say yes
all the time. Yeah, because I've heard that theory: the more yeses, the less no.
Correct. Yeah. So it's the human mind, right? The more you train it in the short period of time to say yes, when they come and sit down in front of you, are you ready to sign up? They're more attuned to saying yes. So anyway, he did this, tour, this journey for me, and I was kind of taking mental notes and stuff. And then he said, now it's your turn. So he gave me about 20-30 minutes to sit by myself, make like a little plan of how I'm going to take him through.
Yep.
And then it was my turn, and I took him around. And I asked him all the questions. I showed him all the gym equipment. And because of my understanding of gym equipment, I was trained.
Already knowledgeable.
Yeah, I knew what to talk about and things like that, because I was doing that with members all the time. And then when I came back, we sat down and I asked him the question, after about going back and forth a little bit. So I said, so when do you want to start? And then he just stopped. He's like, that's it. He's like, 9 out of 10 people who do this with us, they are afraid to ask that final question to get you to sign up. Because sales reps, it's like it comes to that point where you don't want to ask for the close.
Yeah.
And so he's like, why did you do that? And I said, well, I've done everything. I'm confident enough that what I've done, that if you're sitting here in front of me in a gym, what else are you here for?
Yeah.
You're here to.
Yeah.
So he's like, when can you start working for us? And I was like, man, to be honest, I'm on a holiday. Like my parents back home don't even know I'm in here doing an interview. And he's like, no, we would love to have you on the team, but it wasn't a trainer job anymore. It was more as a sales rep.
Yep.
Membership consultant. And so I said, I need some time. I need to call my parents up and let them know what's going on. So that's what I did. I called my dad up. I said, Dad, I might not be coming back. I've got a job here. And again, my parents, they were so supportive and open. They said, well, who is it with? And I said, Richard Branson's brand here in Virgin Active. And they've got a massive gym. They're opening 5 or 6 other gyms in Australia as well. And this is my role. This is the salary they're offering me and stuff. And
what was the salary, if you don't mind me asking?
I think it was like 50 or something Australian dollars, 50,000. And then you were getting commission for every person you signed up. It was like $45 or something like that. So, it was, that was the start off, and I was just fresh out of MBA. So it was okay for me. I was a single guy and stuff. Yeah. And
do you end up taking the job?
Yeah. So I came back. I told them I need at least 2 weeks to go back to New Zealand, bring my stuff and move back. I don't have a place to live here. I have to ask my friend if I can stay with him and all these things. So I came back, bro, and told my parents, and they were supportive. They were a bit sad, but I was very close to them, right? But they said, go and, make your career, basically.
This is 22, 23?
No, it was a bit later. So this is 2009.
So how old were you
then? You're challenging my math now. About 28, 28, 29. Yeah.
So you land in New Zealand, you get a job at Club Physical, you kill it there, you become the national trainer and upskill all the coaches. You then step away and study for 2 years. And then you go over for a holiday after your studies, and then you land a job at Richard Branson's.
Yeah.
Bloody hell, man.
Yeah.
And then what? So you end up packing your stuff?
Came back, packed my bags, moved there, lived with my friend for a while, till I found my feet in Sydney.
Was it easy to kill it there? Like in terms of the gym sales? How do you find the culture there?
Again, man, like it just, it was so much fun. And it was just about thinking out of the box for me as well. And so because it was quite a mature gym, it had a lot of members already.
Yep.
And so that was my first kind of rodeo with understanding sales,
Yep.
and those Australian
psychology.
guys, they're sharks, like
Yeah.
they kind of steal your deals and
Is that what you're saying? So like when you try to get a consult, someone would come in, grab it,
or like just doing sneaky deals behind, like if they're picking up your line and kind of getting your sale and stuff like that. But it was a cutthroat, like kind of sharky. And I was like
you were kind of innocent.
Bro, I was the first brown boy, in that whole sales team. And they were like, "Who's this, Indian kid from New Zealand? What does he know and stuff?" And slowly. But the sales manager, he and I, there was some sort of a good connection with him.
Yeah.
And he really trusted me. I don't know, maybe he liked my character or something.
Yep.
And so he started, training me a little bit more on sales and how the system works and how we should close people. And so one day, like I was just, I was struggling to get leads, right? Because it was cold calling people.
Real?
Bro, like
so they're not walk-ins, you're basically doing cold calls.
Both. So you generate your own business. So you have to like go and do flyer drops to cafes and neighboring businesses, walk on the streets, like get leads. You get these referral boxes that you can go and drop off.
Yep.
We used to go to this funny memory. So we were Manly, the beach, Manly Beach.
Yep.
And so we used to go there, and Virgin Active geniuses in marketing,
What would they do?
So people are like on sunbathing, on the beach. We used to like have Virgin Active waters, like with the Virgin Active thing, and then we used to give them a banana as well, like just because they wanted it to be so random that people remember you.
Yep.
So we used to have a banana with a sticker on it, okay, like Virgin Active or whatever, and we used to hand these out like to people sunbathing.
Just walking out,
There used to be like some girl sunbathing with a hat on her face covering her. And I used to go and
you'd be handing a banana.
I used to lift the hat up. I used to like lift the hat up and say, "Hey, do you want some water?"
And on a banana.
Yeah. It was hilarious, bro. But then the funny part was, I made it really fun, right? And so what used to happen was they used to get leads out of that. So someone, after they got the banana or the water, if they went to the website and they filled out an inquiry form, they had a question: how did you hear about us?
And they'll say,
"I got a banana on the beach." They still actually put that in there, that I got given a banana on the beach. And so I used to ring them up, right? And just to break the ice, I say if I was ringing you, I'd be like, "Hey, Richie, this is Taz from Virgin Active.
Yeah.
I see, you reached out to us because you got given a banana on the beach.
Yeah.
Hey, I just want to tell you, I hope you didn't eat it." And they would be like, "Why? What happened?" I said, "No, actually, I want it back." And it's just like break the ice,
awkwardness.
break the awkwardness. And they used to, break out laughing. And then I used to be like, "Oh, do you want to book in a time to come and see me? And I'll show you the gym and stuff." And so I started making it a game. I started having fun with sales and took the pressure off it all. And then I came up somehow, man, I thought of this idea because I realized that they had 8,000 members, right?
Yep.
But they've been going for 4 or 5 years.
Yep.
So I used to go and sit in with the customer service teams meetings and other meetings, and they used to always talk about member retention.
Yeah.
That people are canceling and things like that, right?
What would their churn be? Do you know?
It was
Like
huge, man.
True.
Huge. So to give you an idea, 8 sales reps on a monthly basis, our sales target every month was over 1,000 members.
A month?
Every month.
What was the cancellations, bro?
Probably half that. Maybe. Yeah, easy. So the net, they needed to be net positive, right?
Yes.
You're a gym owner.
Yeah.
At the end of the month, you need to.
You got to make sure
net positive membership, and so I figured out that there's hundreds and hundreds of people over the last 5 years who've canceled their memberships.
Yeah, bro. Yeah,
Hundreds.
most definitely.
So I went to the admin girl and I told her, I said, is there a way I can get
All the leads.
these email addresses, right? Or these phone numbers of people who've canceled. And she's like, yeah, I can do that for you. And then I went and told my manager.
Because they're still warm leads.
Yeah.
Because they already know the experience. Yeah.
They've used your facility. They've been here. They canceled for whatever reason, right? And so I went and told the sales manager, can we set up a deal that I can offer these guys, right? So
Before they cancelled, or
not, these are non-members right now.
Gotcha.
So these are ex-members who are now non-members.
Not even active.
Not even active, right? So he's like, yeah, we can set something up. So we'll give them no joining fee because in the past they've paid the joining fee.
Of course.
And the joining fee was like $150. And then plus we'll give them a kickstart personal training package, which is $99.
From you, or was it another coach?
From the trainer.
Yeah.
So the total value now is like $249 worth of free stuff.
Yeah.
If you just
Come
sign
back.
up again. So suddenly I had all these email addresses and I used to like sit all day because I was not getting any new leads. So I used to start writing each person a personalized email. I create a little draft saying, hey, just checking in how things are going with you. We'd love to have you back. We're offering you a rejoining deal, no joining fee, personal training package. Just if you want to, rejoin, just hit me up, like send me an email or call me. This is my number. And then I sent hundreds, bro. All day I used to sit. And I didn't even have the foresight. I could like BCC all these people or whatever. I made it personal, each person's name and stuff. And about a week, 10 days later, I started getting emails back, bro. There's like, yeah, hey, Taz, nice to hear from you. I've been thinking of joining again. I've been thinking of doing something for my fitness.
Yep.
When can I come in and see you? And so I started booking all these people in.
Yep.
And when those people came in, I didn't have to do a tour. I didn't have to tell them about
You cut the time because they already know.
Everything. And they were coming literally to sign back up. And I was getting that commission. So it was like a gold mine, right? Because each one of our sales reps had a direct phone line. And when the general number was rang, it used to blink, say green or something. I don't remember fully, but it was a different color blinking on the phone. And it was a direct call to that line. It used to blink, say, for example, blue, right?
Yep.
And so daily, that line used to start ringing because people are ringing me up directly on my number from that email saying, hey, Taz, nice to hear from you. I've been thinking of joining up. I want to come in. When can I book? When can I book? When can I book? And so that was the first month that I did over 100 sales. And I broke, like everyone else was shocked. And they used to call my phone line the rejo line, like the rejoiner line.
Yep.
And so I cracked this niche, and that
Did anyone else copy you?
People tried to do that, but I had the whole list. So I'd already emailed hundreds of people, and then the best part that was happening was those people who were coming in. Sometimes they would bring a friend along, so you get double, and that my move got noticed by like the higher ups at Virgin Active. And so they invited me like for a meeting with them. They said, we were very impressed by this thought process and things like that. And so they actually created a whole package for rejoining and for the whole business.
Because of what you did.
Yeah, what I did, the script, they copied my email, what I wrote and things like that. And then they
did they tell you any of the profit, the trends after they implemented it? Like, did they notice and obviously a better uptake and a reduction in
100%
in cancellations?
No, the cancellations were, people cancel there are always going to be cancellations, right?
Yep.
But the rejoiners definitely went up when we started offering those deals. And then I was, I was doing really well in that role. I was then handpicked to go and open the Pitt Street gym, where I set like sales records and things like that, signing people up. I used to sign people up if they came, it wasn't even the gym. It was like a sales site. So we didn't have a gym to show them. We had a TV like this where we were taking them to a 3D walkthrough of the gym.
This is what they do before they open the gym.
Yeah, pre-sales.
So you would be sitting down with them and they'll literally be showing, showing the screen.
Yeah. 3 months of pre-sales. And
what did you guys hit?
So I think in Pitt Street, again, it was so long ago, but I think they wanted to open with, I think it was 3,000 or 4,000 members.
Wow. What? Paying what? $29 a week?
No. So it was something more like, I think it was $49 a week or something. But that Pitt Street gym, it wasn't a gym. It was like a health club. Again, rock climbing wall. They had like sleep pods, bro.
Spas, saunas.
Yeah, the works. You know, kinesis machines, like functional area, swimming pool, jacuzzi, spa, everything. You walk in, you get a towel handed. There's like a juice bar, free app, free internet, you know, Wi-Fi. It's a coffee
It's almost
shop.
like an experience, like a mall. It's like a mall for fitness.
100%. It's like Disneyland. The best of the best equipment, you know, wood weight treadmills and stuff. I'm talking 2010, man, like crazy stuff, techno gym. And so after that, I got handpicked to then go and open as a sales manager, the third gym in Norwest, which is out west in Sydney.
Yep.
But then, so life was amazing, bro. Like life was,
Bro, you've just went over for a holiday and you've got a massive gig with Richard Branson, who's one of the wealthiest people in the world. Did you ever meet him?
Yeah, I got to meet him as well.
No way.
Yeah, I got to meet him. I've got a picture as well.
What's he like? How tall is he? What's he like as a person, bro?
He's tall, like he's taller than me. But I didn't really sit down and have a conversation. It was more like one of those meet and greets where his new gym had opened and he came and he met the team and stuff. And the sales team got a chance to go and sit with him. And you know, I don't really remember the conversation. It was a long time ago, but yeah, it was fascinating just to see a billionaire. You know,
yes,
like one of the richest guys in the world.
Bro, he's a household name.
Yeah.
What was his energy like, bro? Was he
really
just
good, man? Yeah, he's personable, smiling. Like that's what I remember, and it was a great event for us to meet him. It was such a big thing for the whole company, you know, that he's coming into town and stuff. So it was really fascinating. And and so I was killing it, man. I was a sales manager, you know, setting having fun.
Records.
Yeah. In Sydney, I had built up a nice little friend circle, you know, making money, enjoying.
Were they all in the gym as well? In gym industry, all your friends?
A lot of people in the gym industry, because all your sales reps, so this was what happened, right? Like when I first went in, I was the outsider. And then when I started smashing sales, and so I kind of earned their respect. The other sales guys who've been there longer than me and stuff. And then we all became friends. Yeah. Because then, you know, I was then helping them a lot down the road as well, like how to sell better and how to do all that. Because we used to role play a lot, role playing and stuff like that. So they all, and to be honest, I'm still in touch with a couple of them even now. You know, that's how good friends we became. That even now they're in Sydney, I'm still in touch with them. Like every now and then we'll do WhatsApp or Facebook, wish each other on birthdays and stuff.
Yeah. So, and then what happened after that, bro? So you end up killing it for Virgin.
Yeah.
And what happens next, bro? What's next in Taz's journey?
Yeah, man. It was. So the next part of my story is basically my life transformed a little bit, bro. After that, because I was on an amazing trajectory with Virgin Active. You know, they had a career path and stuff.
Yeah, man.
But in late 2011, like December 2011, my father suffered a stroke back here in New Zealand. And so my mom, you know, I flew down straight away, you know, when it was December as well. I came back here and I was here for a few days. He was in Middlemore and I went there. And then we got him home. And, you know, my mom was completely broken because they were like inseparable, you know. And so she's like, look, I would love for you to come back and be here with, you know, because I was the son and I have a sister, but she was, you know, on a different, she was there with them, but it was always like, oh, I need, you know, this. My mom was like, I need my son back, you know.
Because in Punjabi culture, the son is held quite.
Yeah, it was just, she wanted, because now you witness the fragility of life.
Yeah,
you know, when her husband got a stroke like this and she almost lost him. She was like, I need my son here with me, you know, I can't cope with all of this. And
was it hard to leave your Australian life?
It was
everything going great, and then to have to come back.
So it was a very challenging time for me as a man, because I had to make a decision where it was like I have this career making good money now.
What was it, bro? If you don't mind me asking, what was the income roughly?
I was 6 figures now in Australia as a single guy. You know,
in Australia too, bro. AUD,
yeah, man. And you know, I was in a relationship by now and all this kind of stuff. And
what investments did you have at the time? Did you buy a home, a car? No.
I had a car.
Yeah.
But I never thought all those things, you know, because I was sending a lot of the money here.
And helping your family out.
Yeah. Because my father, he had a little furniture business and stuff, but and that's something I've done my whole life. Even when I was a personal trainer back in the day, I used to just come. I used to give my mom the money, and then I used to ask her for money when I needed it.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have expenses. Like a little bit shopping here and there and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I think that's also a little bit of the Indian culture that
Family first.
Yeah, family first. And they used to have my bank card. Basically, that's how it used to. My mom had my bank card. And anyway, I made, so I had to kind of introspect, and I sat down and I thought, look, if I build this career and I'm successful in Australia and stuff like that, and then God forbid something happens to my family,
You'd always come back. Yeah.
It's worth absolutely nothing, right? Yeah. And so I rang them up a couple of weeks, rang up Australia. I was here for two weeks by now.
And your dad just got out of hospital?
Yeah, my dad was back home, and I saw him really frail and weak, and, like, never seen, because he was a
strong
Punjabi man, like a solid guy. And I rang them up. I rang my national sales manager, and I told them, I said, look, this is the situation. I'm not likely to come back. And they said, no, we can't accept that. Like, you have to come. Like, we want you back. So he said, if you want to take 3 months, stay in New Zealand for 3 months. We'll continue to pay you.
Wow.
But we want you back. And I was shocked. I was like, I couldn't believe it.
That's amazing, bro? That just shows the value that you brought to the company.
Yeah, and for them to recognize that and offer me that. And so initially I was a little bit surprised, but then I thought, okay, maybe, I'll give it another few weeks, see how things go. And then I took that offer for the first, another 2 weeks or so. And then I was very uneasy, bro. I was very
because
uneasy.
It's like you owe something.
Yeah.
Both ways.
That's right. And my heart and I'd already, in a subtle way, I had decided that I'm going to be with my family.
Yeah, yeah.
So then I rang them back up and I said, look, I actually have to give you this money back because
True.
Yeah, I can't, I can't accept this because I won't be coming back. So then I had to give them, like they had also like helped me move to a house. They had paid for some things like that. And so I paid everything back because I didn't want any thread. I didn't want any connect. I didn't want any lingering connection there in that respect. I wanted to detach and be free. So I mean, I won't go too much, bro, into the next sort of little while. But what happened was I came back 2012. The whole of 2012, I didn't work. I was living off whatever I had saved up, and every day I was with my mom and dad. Every day we were like going to the botanical gardens. Like we were healing, like, this as
a family.
Yeah. Like spending my dad, like I remember, like, because when he had a stroke, he lost his balance.
Yeah.
So I was like, throwing like a tennis ball at him and saying catch with the right hand, and then initially seeing him not knowing, like not being able to catch, but then getting better and improving. And
yeah, that would have filled you up.
Yeah, bro. It was the most rewarding thing. It was like there's sometimes they say like I reversed the roles, with my dad, where I was training him in certain ways, when I was a kid, he was training me.
Yeah.
And we became so it was the most magical time of my life. And, now when I look back today, it's so clear why all these things happened, because the whole of 2012, I was with them. And then in January 2013, my father passed away. And it was a huge, huge shock. He was, and then my mom, she was completely
devastated,
shattered, and I was there for her very much. And
what was your dad's name, bro?
Tejinder, yeah. And he passed away, and then it was a tough time for us as a family, but things were like, I wasn't expecting what was about to happen next in my life, where, bro, January dad passed away, and then in May my mom passed away. And it was within 3 months. Yeah, they were like they were inseparable, and she didn't want to be here, bro. Like I saw this lively human being.
She wanted to be with her dad.
They were like, like inseparable. The purest love.
Gosh.
Yeah. So, and then when she passed away, it was the biggest blow of my life. Like I was like, what the hell do I do?
Bro.
What's happened? And
how was that time of your life, bro? Like, if you don't mind me asking, like, to lose your dad, who was a massive figure in your life, bro.
Yeah.
And then to lose your beautiful mom, like
it was. I mean, I can't even describe it because, one thing we know that, people, like this body is finite.
Yeah.
Every one of us who's here is gonna die, pass away, right? But as human beings, we kind of have this unknown expectation that we're going to live to 70, 80 or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And only when this happens to you yourself, like every one of us knows someone else's mother, father, or someone else passed away.
But when it happens to you,
when you go through it personally yourself, no one can describe that
pain.
Yeah, no one. Each person, like even myself and my sister, we both experienced the same events with our parents, but both of us were experiencing it totally uniquely.
Yeah.
And so, at that time, that relationship I was in, that ended simultaneously, and I was left
in 2013.
Yeah.
So you lost your parents plus your relationship at the time.
Yeah. So I was left by myself, and in my personal bank account, I had like $1,242. And I was like, what am I going to do in my life? I was broken. I was gone, man. I was
broken. Just
it was a tough time. And my sister's married to a Samoan, and his family completely cocooned her in because she was as suffering as much as me, and so she moved into his house. And
so Taz is alone.
I was by myself. I was like in this house, my parents' house, and
how. So your dad passes away. How long does the funeral go for? And like, what was the mourning process like for you, bro? What was the mourning process?
I didn't get a chance, man, because when my dad passed away, I was there just as for my mom. I was.
So you had to put on this brave face. You had to be the firm.
I had to be her rock, because I could see what she's going through, so I had to. I could not share. I could not put my
feelings,
pain on her, because I was more like absorbing hers and making her strong at that time, doing the best that I knew how to do. No one can train you, man. No one can tell you these are the steps. Nobody, but at the same time, bro, the truth is also that, from my background, like my parents were very spiritually open and very kind of believing, in God and things like that. So I grew up in that in that energy field. And while all this was happening as well, there was never any resentment or anger or, I was at acceptance with it because I knew that this is the divine plan.
It's only temporary. It's not terminal. It's transitional. Like he's transitioning.
Yes. That, this body that is temporary is anyway, is going to drop one day. So I didn't limit my parents to this body. They are far more than that. The essence of them lives on even now. Even they're now. And so what life gave me was an opportunity to dig a lot deeper within myself, like to discover me, like who am I? And in that journey, I just had it's because like I said, my father had a furniture business. I decided we sold, a lot of that furniture.
Yeah.
And I got some money, and I decided I needed to leave New Zealand for a while.
So you ended up leaving again, bro?
I left again, man. I left again. I looked at the map and I said, what's the farthest away I can get from New Zealand?
In 2013 or 14?
In 14. Yeah. 14.
And where did you go?
I ended up in Portugal.
Wow.
Yeah. One-way ticket. I ended up going to this spiritual.
So you lose your parents, your relationship. You end up selling a bit of the furniture with the goal plan to take off. Did your parents own the home or were they renting?
Yeah, they had the house.
Yeah.
So there was, then my sister and her husband and her brother and all, they moved in. Okay. Yeah. And they were all living in the house. I was gone. I went and lived, I was gone to Portugal, and I lived in this kind of spiritual community up in the mountains in a tent. And it was all about self-healing for the next 2 years.
And did you know that was part of the package when you went to Portugal? Was that part of it?
I went there for that.
How did you find out about this place?
Just on YouTube, man. there's a spiritual master, Muji, who basically reignited me.
And what was the daily regime up there? And
it was just the selfless service. The whole it was it's called an ashram.
Ashram.
Yeah, ashram is like it's not necessarily a monastery because you're not a monk there, but you're living a very simple, basic life.
Sort of service.
No power.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, like you're in a tent, bro, walking with a torchlight at night. It's a community of people all serving
From all parts of the world?
All parts of the world. All parts of the world, all walks of life, all age groups, everything. And this Muji, who is the spiritual master there, he like sits and he has these talks.
Yeah.
And you introspect about life and the deeper meaning of life and your self-discovery and things like that. And so for the next 2 years, I was in and out of there. I was living there for a few months. Then I went and backpack around Europe for a few months. I was like, have you heard of, there's this organization called Couch Surfing?
Yes.
Where you go and live in people's homes.
It's like Airbnb, but you just...
For free.
Yeah.
And so I backpacked around Europe, went all places, man.
And then you'd go back.
I would go back. And
is there a cost affiliated with it?
No, back then it was minuscule, man. Like,
so it's like a donation?
Yeah, just for food and stuff like that.
And what do you eat?
It's all vegetarian food, like very basic, very clean, very healthy, like salads and good.
And do you cook your own food or do they cook
you have teams, like cleaning team, cooking team, construction team, like all these different people.
How many people at one go would be up at the mountains?
Back then it would be 50, 60 people,
And just people that want to experience a different way of living or might have gone through trauma.
Right. That's right.
And just basically want to cleanse.
People who life brings them to a point where they are questioning
the purpose.
Where they've tried and tested things, like whether they've had material success or life has given them a little trauma, like you said, or their plans have just not worked. You come to a point where life pushes you to this place where you're like, there must be more. And someone who's more open to discovering a deeper meaning.
You would encourage them to go up.
Oh, well, just start with, even if you're just watching YouTube, if you search in Muji, Mooji, he's divine, bro. He's changed.
What faith is he affiliated to? There's no faith.
No faith. No faith, yet every faith.
Comes.
No religion, yet every religion.
Muji.
You must.
I will.
You must. It's beautiful.
So is it done how is it done, bro? Are there intakes every 3 months, or do people just turn up and I'm here to?
There's right now. It's really, to be honest, it's not like a camp or anything like that. Life, when you are ready, life just brings you there. Somehow it's miraculous how these things work. Like you. All I'll say is you must, if you get a chance, you just go to YouTube, type Muji. It may not be for every person. Life has to present you prepare you in a certain way to accept what he teaches. And I just think, if anything, just you have to have, for me, he gave birth to who you're seeing today. This being, this guy, this mind, this perspective of life is given birth by him, by his teaching. I wouldn't say him. I don't want to limit him to his body.
But his teaching.
His pointing, what his pointing is about self-discovery and who we are, the consciousness that we are, the awareness that we are, which is beyond all of this, is what changed everything for me. When I discovered that.
How old is he?
He's probably early 70 now. 70, yeah.
Does he describe his physical?
He's Jamaican.
Hey?
He's Jamaican, dreads, beard, magical.
And what happens when you just go, "Hey, I'm Tez. How's it going, Muji?"
No. So, okay.
Sorry, I'm just trying to get my head around today.
Okay, I'm gonna share with you, and you may or may not want to put this in. So I'll tell you how this happened. So in 2013, when my mom passed away, I was in a tough time, you know. And I'm sharing this to you just one-on-one. Like, you can share it, bro.
Yeah, bro. Now I will.
So I was so down, you know. I was so down because in my house I had my parents' photographs and things like that. Like I couldn't even look at the picture because I used to start crying with the pain attached to it and stuff. And you know, I was suffering so much, you know, like just why this has happened and stuff like that. And you go through moments like
Questions.
I said, yeah, like, you know, you go through spurts of joy and then extreme sadness. And when you you can't describe what you go through when you lose one parent, and then, you know, when I lost both. So anyway, at one time on YouTube, I was so given up in everything that I went to YouTube and I said, how to end suffering. I was so open, bro. I was just so simply, just wanted this pain to end, you know. And in my house, we, you know, like I said, we are Sikh, Punjabi, so we had the Guru Granth Sahib, which is the religious scriptures, and that was my only support system. I used to, you know, because my parents were really.
Oh, you had no one here.
I had no one here. The God's word, the living truth was I was reading and I was imbibing. And this one day I just ended up typing how to end suffering. And then YouTube came up, you know, few videos came up, and one of them was his face. And I just got drawn to pressing play on that video. And he started talking about, you know, some Advaita, like Indian spirituality and stuff. And then he said, look, at one point, about 3 or 4 minutes in the video, and the first few minutes all going over my head. I can't understand what he's saying, you know, about spirituality and stuff. And then at one point he looked in the camera and said, I agree there is suffering, but can you show me who it is, you who is suffering? Who are you? Show me you. And I paused the video and I said, and I questioned myself, I said, but who is suffering? There is a lot of suffering.
Yep.
But who is it that is suffering?
Yep.
So I just went into the prayer room and I prayed. I said, you know, God, like, I want to know who is suffering. And that was the starting point of my journey of self-discovery. And when you ask this question of who am I, and you come to see that I'm not this body, I'm not this, none of this.
You're not limited to this.
Yeah. That you are that pure point of awareness, consciousness. You are free. You know, you're free from all these
restrictions and titles, and
you're absolutely free from all of these conditions and this conditioning. And so when I discovered that, my life went to a complete transformation. And, you know, something as simple as you go to the botanical gardens, it was like I was seeing the flowers for the first time in my life. Like your eyes change, your perspective.
Your lens.
Everything changes. You're not looking from that limited place anymore. You know, you meet people and you're just seeing, it's another point of consciousness talking to consciousness, you know, with this veil of conditioning.
Yeah.
But if you look from these eyes, who is seeing it? You know, like where in this body is Taz? Or where in this body is where, which part? And so that was my discovery.
Quick question, do you call each other by each names or no?
Yeah. You can.
Up there, yeah.
What happens is, the beautiful thing that happens is that once you discover that essence and you recognize that all of this is a beautiful play, then you're free. You can call names, you can do whatever. None of it matters. None of it is a limitation to you anymore.
Yeah.
You're absolutely free, you know, of that. So when I went back there, I really just wanted to go and show my appreciation and you know, just say thank you. And you know, because that gave me purpose to go on in life again when I discovered that. Because when I recognized that I'm not this body and I'm not this limited idea, it was then simple that my mom was never that, my father was never that, you know, and so that's it. And then you recognize that, but that piece, that point of awareness, that consciousness cannot die, you know, and you're free out of that. So the whole pain vanished. The whole pain of, there was so much love towards that now, towards my parents, towards the whole thing. It just converted itself into a complete
from
love.
suffering to
Complete love, you know, complete acceptance, love, and freedom. And in essence, love is our true nature.
Yeah.
You know, and so you just act out of love, for love, to love.
Yeah.
And you just respond to life like that.
Love is the cure for nearly everything.
Everything. Love is the answer for everything.
'Cause
My mom used to say this sentence where she's like, fear, anger, jealousy knocked on a door. Love answered, and there was no one there. So, yeah, that's it, man. Love, and you can take that to any episode of your life, and you will see that when you respond with love, the angriest person, the most upset human being, they come to attack you, and you just talk with love. It breaks. Love is more powerful than any emotion that anyone. Someone can come with you angry, and you say, "Hey, brother, sorry, man," and you break them. It will break the biggest ego.
Yeah.
When you are soft, when you are love,
love is a pure form of
bro, I'll tell you
communication.
Another thing that comes to mind is, this is again I used to read all these books and stuff, but it's coming now, is like, love is, for example, this is how love is, like a flower. Okay.
Yeah.
The expression, I'll tell you the example of how pure love can be is that you take a flower, a rose petal, and in anger, you crush it.
Yeah.
Okay, you crush it. But it is so pure love that even after you have destroyed it, right, its fragrance will be left in your hand.
That's true, eh, bro?
Yeah. So it will leave that fragrance of itself even to that thing that destroys it. And that is the purest, my understanding of the purest way of love is that when you are acting out of love and there cannot be fear,
No.
you cannot experience love and fear simultaneously.
Yep.
And you are free from any expectation, you're free from any judgment, you're free from it's a totally different, you're living in a different dimension.
Yep. Oh, bro, this is gold, man. Like, shucks, how do you, I think, so I love to try to operate at a higher frequency and energy and stuff like that. In this day and age, it's very challenging with living costs, crime, and everything that's going through the roof. How do you maintain your love language or your love frequency in this current moment, bro? Do you meditate? Do you pray? Like, what does Taz do, bro?
It is, it's difficult to explain because once you, it's like this, right? Once you eat some food, you make the act of eating the food.
Yeah.
What do you do? What do you have to do after that in order for the food to do its job?
You got to digest it. You got to let it.
But it's all happening by itself.
Yeah.
You are not making your digestive system work.
Correct.
You are not making anything. It just
does it,
right? So same thing for me. It's like once you recognize this, then life takes care of it. It's all happening by the grace of life. You are literally witnessing your own life unfold in front of you.
Yeah.
It takes care of it all. Like it will put you in the right position. It will put the right concept in you. It will put the right response in you. It's like you get out of your own way, bro.
Yeah.
You, as the limited ego idea of yourself, you get out of your own way.
Yeah.
And then that life flows through you, and it's a miraculous experience.
Yeah.
And so to answer your question, like all of it is like, it's like now the way I live now is that at least, what has been my experience is that I'm just playing this role, man.
Yeah.
I'm playing a role of a husband. I'm playing a role of a business owner. I'm playing a role of a brother. All of it is my role that I do to the best, but none of it defines me.
Yeah.
None of it can, because I'm beyond all of it.
You're beyond. You're higher.
I can be a best friend. I can be a boss, whatever, right?
Yeah.
But I don't get defined by any of that. There's a detachment from these roles to who I am, and once you recognize that, then of course we have to work. Of course we have to pay our rent. Of course we have to pay the bills. Of course, but that's a part of the play,
Yeah.
Part of the play. It's like you recognize, for example, it's like if you watch Tom Cruise in a movie, and he's playing, say if it's Mission Impossible and he's playing that agent and whatever his name is, Hawk or something, Ethan Hawke.
Yeah.
I think that's his name.
Yeah.
So it's like when the director says action, Tom Cruise is playing Ethan Hawke.
He's
like
changed.
killing people, shooting
Yeah.
people, breaking things and all of that. But the moment he says cut, Tom Cruise knows he's Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like when I go to work, I'm Taz.
You're Taz, the Swole
entrepreneur.
Foods owner. Yep.
So I do that role to the best of my ability. It's not personal anymore. You
Yeah.
know, like I'm maybe Taz doesn't want to walk into a gym and like sell or talk about meals
food,
or
yeah.
make a cold call and try to get business. He doesn't like that as a person, right? I'm very introverted or whatever. But Taz as the entrepreneur,
Has to be extrovert. He has to step out of his.
that's his role.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that role needs to be performed.
Yeah.
So all of it becomes so much more light because a lot of times we put a lot of heaviness to all of this.
Yeah.
A lot of pressure.
Yeah.
And when you put so much pressure on yourself, your frequency cannot be high, right? Because you're working out of fear and pressure.
Yes.
You're not working out of love and acceptance. Love and acceptance is the higher frequency.
Yeah. Yeah.
So and also another thing is that if you work to a certain outcome, then you can only ever get to that outcome. But if you work for a certain, like if you just work, right, then there is no limit to your outcome.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can you're doing it for the love of doing.
And for service to serve.
Yeah, exactly, And so that's how I try and live my life. That's how I see my day-to-day functioning right now.
Bro, this has been a crazy conversation, bro. We literally haven't delved into the deep parts of what I wanted to, bro. But man, quickly, bro, give us a quick rundown of your journey from obviously not many people know that you own Full Power Fitness.
Yeah, yeah.
And then lockdown happened, and then you pivoted and did Swole Foods, bro. If you don't mind, give us a quick rundown of that, bro.
Yeah.
Because we've had a mean conversation about other things, but it's been amazing, to be honest. We might have to.
I know.
We might have to have another podcast, but tell us about that story, brother.
Yeah, I had the gym. I started the gym in 2018. That was my first journey coming back and settling back down in New Zealand. I wanted to, serve people again and help people, and that was my first passion. So I started that gym, started helping people. And in that gym, I had, people were coming and asking me, Taz, where can I get? I was writing eating plans, right?
Yep.
Where can I get 180 grams of chicken, 150 grams of rice, and so on. So I just saw maybe I have an opportunity to buy meals from someone else and sell them in my gym. So I started hunting around to see who's doing this, which companies are doing this. So there were meal kit providers and stuff like that, but no one was doing what I had in mind. It was macro
Like
calculated.
real and delicious.
Yeah, they were doing like different concepts and things. So I bought every meal out there from all the companies, trialed them on, and then I just had an idea. I wouldn't say it was an idea at that point. There was such a strong feeling in my heart that I have to do this.
Someone can do it better.
Yeah. I have to do this concept. And so the whole concept of Swole Foods and all that literally just happened in one afternoon on my reception desk in my gym. I just wrote, because I was watching like Steve Cook and all that in the US.
Yeah.
They have Swole Nation and all that.
Yeah.
So I just wrote
right.
Swole Foods. It had a good ring to it. The 3 serving sizes, what the concept will be, delicious, healthy meals that people would normally buy in a takeaway or a restaurant, but we reverse engineer it, make it all, macro balanced and clean. And
so while you're running the gym, you end up coming with this new idea of Swole Foods. Yeah.
And so I went and told my wife, I said, I've got an idea. And she's like, oh my God.
Not another one. Yeah.
And so, but yeah, it changed everything, right? Because I started investigating on what it goes into starting a food business. And I had no idea. I'm not from the food background. So my learning curve was like 90 degrees upright. Everything was a stumbling block. And eventually, after knocking on so many doors for 7, 8, 9 months, I went and started. I finally found someone who was going to help me and do some meals for me and things like that. And we started. They said, "Look, we'll give you 300 meals if you sold them in a couple of months. Then we'll make more meals for you." And I bought a secondhand freezer, put it in my gym, and then I sold 300 meals in 18 days. I just sold left, right, and center.
And were they just basically basic? So chicken, rice,
They were the first version of our menu. Some of the meals are still on the menu right now, like beef bolognese, smoky pulled beef, but a lot of them have evolved.
Yeah.
But it didn't have this fancy packaging. It was more like a sticker label, basic stuff that we were sticking ourselves and stuff. And people started coming back and saying, Taz, where can I buy? I want more, and that's when I got the confidence that actually people want this stuff. It's saving them time. It's giving them the nutrition, and they don't mind because they have to go and buy something anyway.
Yep.
So that's when I really, then all my MBA, all that came into work. I did a business plan. I did a SWOT analysis, all this kind of stuff. And I made a proposal. Then I went and I wanted to do it online. So we went and got an e-commerce website set up. And October 2019 is when we went online for the first time, early October 2019. And bro, I had no idea of e-commerce and stuff. And that's how the whole journey of Swole Foods started online. And it was just hustling, man. It was buying meals because I didn't have funding. Both my businesses, now I have two businesses that are both bootstrapped.
Yep.
So I was working from 5 a.m. till about 2 o'clock in the gym, going home, packing some orders. Back then, we would get 3 or 4 orders a day. 5 orders was a good day. And then going to courier post, dropping it off, coming back to the gym, working till 8:39, sometimes 10 o'clock, training people, and then repeating the next day the same.
So you owned a gym. You were also doing the meal packaging, and then you'd come back to the gym and train clients.
Yeah. So long days, man. No sleep, and then not also that. Then trying to understand marketing for Swole Foods and answering all the customer emails. Answering all the calls, like everything. And while doing that for the gym as well. So same thing for gym sales. And
membership deals, trying to push.
Everything. Cleaning, membership, sales, retention,
brother.
training people, one-on-one sessions. So it was 7 days a week, non-stop work. And
Owning a gym is tough.
Yeah.
Like it's tough going, man. Like it's like I always compare it to like a bucket with holes. There's always holes that always appear.
Yeah.
And you're always trying to keep the bloody bucket from leaking.
Yeah.
Was it hard mentally, bro, to maintain a gym plus start a new business plus PT clients, bro? Like, man.
Like I said, man, my whole concept of life had already changed by then. I never saw anything hard after that.
Yeah.
I just felt so blessed that I have this chance.
I could do it. Yeah.
I have this chance. I was, if the fact that someone would come and sit with me and pay me money to train them, I was like, man, that's phenomenal because they're paying me $70-$80 for my hour because they see value in it.
Yeah.
So I want to serve them the best that I can, So not only did I not see it as hard, I also did not see it as work.
Yeah.
I saw it as a blessing, as an opportunity, that I'm doing what I love. I'm helping
and getting
people.
paid for it.
Yeah. And that's paying my bills.
So, and what happened, bro? So do you end up staying in the gym or what?
Yeah, so
obviously lockdown is coming up.
Yeah. So pandemic changed everything, right, bro? Like, how hard it was for gyms and stuff. And so gym one day to the next, it was shut. Swole Foods was by no means making any money.
Yeah.
It was just I had
Just getting by. Yeah.
Not even getting by. I was still pumping money, in the advertising and stuff. So the gym was fueling that.
Yeah.
So whatever we were earning from the gym, paying our bills, rent or whatever, and then putting some money for Swole Foods. But once the pandemic hit, we were so blessed that we ended up being deemed an essential service.
So sales just skyrocketed.
Yeah, well, it picked up.
Yeah.
I don't say it skyrocketed. We got busier. It wasn't like money pouring in or anything.
But it was enough to get by.
Yeah, we were busy. We were busy. We were getting orders from, Gisborne and Napier and Invercargill and all these places. And NZ Post was basically only delivering medicals and food. That's it. So I had NZ Post to my disposal.
Yeah.
We were delivering Swole Foods every day. And any local hand deliveries, like we used to have people ringing up saying, hey, my mom's in this rest home in Papakura. Can you deliver and stuff? So my wife and I and a couple of guys from my gym who were all Uber drivers, I used to call them. And then we were all driving all parts of Auckland and I was managing deliveries on my phone. and sending them like pictures because it's all contactless. You have to drop it on the door and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
So I was managing like a little courier business from my phone, and everyone, like I was in QMU, my wife was in Albany, somewhere hand delivering all these parcels. And it was a crazy, amazing time, man. We were packing orders at night, then going out in the day, driving all over, dropping parcels, and then packing, repeating. So we were just so busy during the pandemic, just doing all of this. And then people started sending us reviews and appreciation emails, and because all like a lot of elderly parents of people, they couldn't go out to the supermarkets and stuff. So we were serving all these guys. One lady I remember, I went and dropped a box off one rest home, actually not too far from here in Papakura, and she was 90 years old, bro. Grace, her name. She opened the box, and her daughter bought her 20 meals in our big box. And I looked at her; she was so petite, and I said, "Look, I don't even think you can lift this box." So then she said, "Okay, I'll go in my room," because it was all pandemic.
Yeah.
She said, "I'll go in my room. Can you load up in my fridge and freezer?" So I'm there in her little apartment, loading up her fridge and freezer with her meals. And then I stepped out and I said, "Grace, I'm done. I'm also taking the box so that you don't have to deal with this rubbish." And she was so appreciative, man. Her daughter rang me up. She's like, "My mom is so happy, with the meals and things like that." So we went a couple of more times to drop her meals for her as well. So those kind of things became so rewarding for me. And then when pandemic finished, I made a decision that Swole Foods is my next jump.
Big one, yep.
And also because I had a terrible experience with the landlord, like some of us, had at the gym. So I just decided that I don't want to pay off that human being's property by working so hard, and they were quite, it wasn't a good experience.
Yeah.
And so we had a number in mind. We put the gym on the market. And
Sold it.
We said, let's just disconnect. Let's walk away.
Yeah.
And just jump, dive into Swole Foods. And that's
what. And now look at it.
Yeah, both Ksenia, my wife's name is Ksenia.
Yeah.
We then devoted every waking hour and even my sleep. I always get dreams of Swole Food on building the brand.
Bro, it's massive.
Yeah, and that's how we started. And it was all about how can we impact the next person who comes in our contact.
Yeah.
It was never about how many meals we can sell, it was about how many lives can we change, how many people can we give a positive impact to, because for us, the way I see it is we are in giving people time back business.
Yeah, I agree.
Like you said, after a busy day,
bro,
when you get
it's
home,
handy for me, man.
Yeah. If you don't have to think about what you're eating, and your meal is sitting there waiting for you, you've just saved an hour of your time where you can,
I can tell, bro, how you said about rewarding and serving people, bro, I can tell from the meals. Because so not many people know this, but your Swole Food meals, bro, they are delicious. Like, seriously, bro, they are delicious. Like, I got people that come up from Ramarama.
Yeah.
So I got clients that come all the way, bro, they drive up just to buy Swole Foods, bro, because they can't believe it literally tastes like you've got it out of the oven.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that, bro, if you don't mind, like without obviously disclosing too much. What's your process, bro? Like, how have you been able to nail it to a fine tooth comb, bro?
Yeah, well, the truth is, for me, it's just about the quality, making sure that the chefs understand what we are trying to achieve. So when I meet any
how many people work for you?
Right now, directly is about 9 people.
And then you got contractors?
Yeah, we got contractors,
wow,
chefs and stuff like that. So anyone who comes in, my job is just to make them understand that, hey, you are here, you're impacting someone's life.
Yeah.
Even the team who's packing the meals, right? I tell them, look, you might pack 300, like the team might pack 300 boxes today, but but Josh, who's getting his one box, that's his only box for the whole week.
So make it the best.
Pack it with love. The way you align the meals, the way the label goes on, because your service, that experience is going to ripple effect.
Yes.
And so I transitioned that to any chef, any person designing the meals. All of that is like, it needs to be at a level that someone can understand that, I don't mind paying for this.
A little bit more.
Yeah, because I cannot do this at home.
Yeah.
Right? I cannot make 17 different flavors at home in a week, but I can eat from Swole Foods any cuisine that I want.
Yeah.
And that's what my job right now is, to keep on reiterating that. And of course, like any entrepreneur will know, as you scale, it gets harder and harder and harder.
To keep the quality,
the team gets bigger. They're more distant from you. So the biggest, I guess, opportunity is to keep on focusing on that. You
Yeah.
know, for me, again, I know you've introduced me saying is the biggest meal and all, delivery and stuff like that. But for me, all of that is not in my. I don't comprehend any of that.
Yeah.
You know, because for me, I'm
Your
just
why
so,
is bigger because you're there to serve.
yeah, I'm so deep in the trenches as well, bro. Like I don't wake up and look and think about all that.
Oh, bro, you're big, bro.
In fact, not too long ago, my wife and I, we were filling up at a Mogul gas station in Smales Road.
Yeah.
And so they have our meals there.
Yep.
And it was a weekend. So we just went and filled up there and we were paying. Of course, I went and saw the freezer and stuff where the meals are. And then someone walked in. They went straight to the Swole Foods freezer, picked out a meal and went and paid for it. And we observed that whole
Process, the experience. Yep.
and bro, both of us sat in the car and we were looked at each other and we were like, damn, like that's someone stopped
To come and get a swole.
come and get
Yeah.
our product
Yeah.
that has come out of our energy.
Yeah.
I was like, we have to be so grateful for this, so humble and so grateful that people are spending their hard-earned money on something that we created.
Yeah.
That they see value in that. For me, that it just drives me so hard to keep on serving better and better and better. That's all I'm driven by right now. Like, how can I give more value? And of course, it's not been it's
Never smooth.
It's
nah.
never smooth. Bro, everything that could go wrong has gone wrong for me.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
From everything. I can't even describe, like from people cheating us, stealing, like packaging errors, like everything that has gone wrong can go wrong.
But it's what you do with that as an experience.
Yeah. And it's really about, I tell people now, like when Swole Foods started, first year or so, it was like, I have these 3 problems today.
Yeah.
And today it's like, what are my 3 biggest problems today?
Yeah.
So it's like, it's transformed.
Yeah.
Another word for business is problem solving, right?
Yep. 100%,
You
bro.
have
That's
to be
it.
the biggest problem solver, and you cannot dwell on anything for more than 2 minutes.
No, because it'll eat you up.
Yeah. It's just another thing. Like I don't talk about. We don't use the word problem. We just like, okay, this is what now.
Yeah.
Right. That's it. And you just go with it because you become so attuned to the fact that we've survived all of it.
Yeah. And still here.
Yeah. If I asked you, what was your biggest problem 6 months ago?
Oh, shucks.
Not many times we don't even remember
Yeah,
now. Right?
yeah.
But in that moment, it's like a big problem.
Yeah.
So that's how I see it now. It's like with customer service, again, we that was my biggest thing is like, how do we put the customer first?
Yeah.
Like everything. And that comes back from my training at Virgin Active as well. Like it's customer first. Like, if they receive a wrong meal or if they receive the damaged meal or whatever,
change
refund.
it.
No questions asked.
Yeah.
Like I don't even want to argue with you.
Yeah.
Because there's no point. You've taken your time. You expected a certain delivery. Whether it's the courier's fault, they dropped it, they did the wrong delivery. The buck stops at us.
Yeah.
The name on the box is Swole Foods. It's not anything.
Not NZ Post. Yeah.
Whatever. So we take ownership, we take accountability, and it's the first point solution.
Yeah.
Like first resolve it at the first point of contact. That's it. That's what we try to do, and I guess that's how it is. I mean, I know you said like we went on the conversation was totally different to what you said
this
about.
is not what it was meant to be, bro. But it's been amazing, man.
Yeah. So, and then Swole Foods, like the opportunity to work with athletes and things like that, like partners like you guys. It's humbling that some like you would like to have our product in your baby.
Yeah.
And then you see that I know someone like yourself, like you would not promote something to your members that you want back.
Yeah.
So for you to validate our product and to have like our flag out there, it's so humbling.
Yeah.
Bro, it's like, those kind of things really matter. Like if another entrepreneur sees value in what you brought.
Oh, bro, I do, man. Like seriously, bro.
And that really drives me, man.
Well, look, bro, you've got the Blues. You provide food for the Blues. Now you've got David Tour, the tour man.
Yeah.
Like, bro, it's it speaks for itself, my brother. Like your food is amazing. Like I'm trying to not be biased. I know we stock it.
Yeah.
But man, it is delicious. Like seriously, man. Like
Thank you.
it really is, bro. Like, man, before we finish, brother, what are some words of wisdom for anyone watching this that is an entrepreneur, you know, that you want to end off for this interview, bro?
I don't, to be honest, man, I don't consider myself in a position to advise anyone. But I would just say, like, you know, if you are in a position to start a business, or if you have an idea to do something, doing it and failing is a far better outcome than just continually thinking about, I could have done something. And you know, there is no even if you start and you know, if you started a business and if you went out into it, and if you and it didn't come to the fruition that you expected, right? The lessons that you've learned is what it was designed to make you who you're going to become. Yeah. Because, you know, I think in another way is like any business, you can, yes, you learn a lot about business, but you learn more about yourself. Yeah. It teaches you, it pushes you, and it shreds you, man. Yeah. A business will tear you apart. Yeah. And you'll be naked in front of your own self saying, why? Yeah, you know? And that's what I would say is like, you know, you must, if you have this seed in you, not everyone does. Yeah. Not everyone is designed and not everyone needs to. Yeah. You know, there's no harm in just having a nice job and all of that. But if you have a feeling of, shit, I should try that. Yeah. You know, maybe I can do it better or whatever, then you must, and you cannot rely on anybody. No. Nobody's going to give you a helping hand. Yeah. Nobody's going to even, more often than not, even the people who you think will help you, they don't. They don't. Yeah, brother, and they will actually talk you down. Yeah, yeah. And there are people who you consider your friends and family. They will beg you, bro. Yeah. Because, and I kind of thought about that, and it's because you are, you have the guts, to do something that they're not. Yeah, that they're afraid to do. You know. And so don't tell anybody. Yeah. You know, even with Swole Foods, like, I didn't tell anybody till the day I had a meal ready. That you were doing it. And even I'll tell you the truth, the first few weeks of Swole Foods, I didn't even tell anyone that it's our business. Yeah. I didn't tell anybody. I just said, we've stocked these meals in the gym and let's try. Because I've just learned the hard way. Yeah. You know, and expect nothing from anybody. Yeah, bro. So when I signed the contract for the gym, you know, I had it in my mind that if no trainer shows up, no cleaner shows up, no helper shows up, it's all on me. Yeah. I'm willing to do that. Yeah. When we started Swole Foods, my wife and I, we said, if no one comes, no employee, no manager, nothing, and we have to run this show, are we ready to do that? Yeah. And if the answer to that is yes, are we willing to sacrifice everything? Yeah. We did it. So I've signed the contract with myself that I'm willing to give every ounce of me without relying on anybody or anything. And that help that is designed to come just shows up, bro. Yeah. I've seen that as well. It will come. The right people will come. Yeah. Sometimes the wrong people will come, but they're the right people because they came to teach you a lesson. Yeah, brother. Yeah. You know? And you just keep going. You can't stop, you know? And you act out of love and you act out of the right intention. And life, and what will be, will be. No expectation, no fixed outcome required. Yeah. It just goes where it's meant to go. You know, I don't have a certain target. If you ask me what you want to be in 3 years or 5 years, I have no idea. Yeah. No concept. I know what I have to do today. That's all I'm worried about, you know.
Brother, it's been an inspiring story, man, to say the least, brother. But, man, I have enjoyed this talk, bro, and I know that our viewers will definitely enjoy this. Bro, honestly, thank you so much for coming on our podcast, brother. Brother Taz, it's been amazing, and thank you for shining so much light on energy and having a different perspective. Because honestly, bro, I'll be honest, I don't actually sometimes have it, bro, and sometimes I can be blinded by, you know, goals and monetary outcomes. But thank you so much for coming on board, and thank you for shining a different light on it, bro. So thank you so much, brother Taz. Thank you, my brother.
Awesome, bro. Thank you so much for having me, man. It's been great.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.